The best word I would use to describe Sultan Sanctuary is engrossing. The developers have not only managed to transition Souls-like gameplay to a 2D side-scroller, but have created a game that makes the most of many different genres. While it can be too challenging in the wrong ways at times, Sultan Sanctuary is excellent and a must-play for anyone seeking a brutal but enjoyable challenge. Sultan Sanctuary features a world which is begging to be explored. As you start the game, you are placed at the beginning of a world teeming with all sorts of life. The map is split up into different, distinctive areas, each with different enemies, locales, and bosses. Each area also has sanctuaries which you need to find and use in order to level up, buy items, and upgrade your gear. The amount of content in Sultan Sanctuary is staggering. There are hundreds of weapons and items which can be used to dispatch of foes. The game fully encompasses the fantasy settings with a variety of weaponry which ranges from battle axes to wands. Even though you are armed to the teeth with weapons, the gameplay is still extremely difficult. Especially towards the beginning of the game, even the weakest of enemies cannot be taken lightly, as a few hits will kill you, and if you die, you lose all your recently gained XP to the person who took you down. Some aspects of the game, like not having a map, or even not being able to pause the game properly, are really brutal. With death traps, invisible enemies, and gluttons for punishment, the game is always a challenge, and at times can tiptoe on the wrong side of frustrating. But even with all of that challenge, it is very hard to put down the controller. This is due in part to the gameplay, which is hard to fault. The combat is simple and slow paced, but tactile, as the next move might be your last. The control scheme is great, allowing players to dispatch of foes with combos, as well as switching between weaponry quite easily. The platforming could do with some work, as jumping does not feel great, but the combat, however, is absolutely awesome. With just a vast array of armour, weaponry, and skills, it is all too easy to be sucked into the game for hours on end, hacking away at bosses with no track of real world time. The boss battles in particular are incredible, and that's great considering that there are plenty of them. Each boss has their own unique attacks, weaknesses, and patterns you need to learn in order to pass. It feels extremely satisfying to conquer them, as the bosses are very tough and will die swinging, as they will throw everything they have at you when they are low on health. Special props also have to go to the visual designs of each boss, as they look very impressive. The graphics in general are amazing for the most part. The detailed aesthetic manages to blend gore and beauty together to create an impressive outcome. The variety of locales is also extraordinary, as each area looks completely different to the last. A nice bonus is that you can fast travel through the map with no load times whatsoever, which is awesome. The only two issues with the presentation are firstly the music, which is basically non-existent for the most part, and also the occurring issue that the game crashes, which is annoying but hopefully will be fixed in a patch later down the road. Overall, Sultan Sanctuary is an amazing 2D title and easily a Game of the Year contender. The game is brimming with content, so much so that there are aspects I have not been able to fully deliberate on in this review. Sultan Sanctuary has more than enough quality and quantity to justify its extremely modest price tag, and I highly recommend it, and I cannot wait for the Vita version. Final score, a high A grade. For more Vita reviews, remote play reviews, PS4 reviews, and everything else gaming, make sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.